Good morning. This is Serge W. D. Haiti of Serge W. D. Haiti, CPA, PLLC, where life is good and living is better. And I am the dreaded CPA. Um, I take that back. I'm Dr. Serge D. Haiti. Um, I just recently got my doctorate degree, so I have to get used to using my correct title. So today, um, I wanted to create content on this video based on recent events that I've seen since the last time I made a video in January. And this one is talking about non-for-profit organizations. And mainly, how does an individual or business verify a nonprofit organization? So this content, it ranges from someone that doesn't know about nonprofits and how they work to those who are active with non-for-profit organizations and have a working relation with them. And the purpose of this video is to mainly increase the confidence when you're making your donations or contributions to nonprofit organizations. These contributions could be of money, other properties such as vehicles, land, buildings, donated items such as clothes, shoes. Um, and I think the most important one is your time, because time is a resource that no one can get back. Once it's gone, there's no way you can get it back. You may be able to make more money, so you have more free time, but the time that has passed, you can't regain that. So, with that being said, I wanted to um, make this video because in the past couple months, we had a lot of disasters, natural disasters, and some tragedies that happened over the recent months. Here in Florida, we had a hurricane that came through and caused some devastation to some parts of the states where a national disaster by the IRS was issued. Um, in January, we saw on the west coast of the United States and California, several wildfires occurred, and a lot of devastation has occurred over there where multiple citizens of the state and also the US have been impacted by that. And then recently, we've seen a couple man-made disasters where there were some losses that occurred where individuals lost their lives through due to traffic, air traffic devastation, collisions, and also the most recent one is that I've seen is the plane crash that not landed, but that made an impact in a suburban area in Philadelphia. So with all these different organizations going on, we may want to contribute and help out in any way that we can to assist those are in need. And usually we go through some type of nonprofit organization. But there are times where individuals are creating these organizations for nefarious reasons where they will create a shell nonprofit and, take your money and run off. We've seen multiple cases where that occurred. So this video is to help the viewers understand what it takes to identify and verify a non-for-profit, so you could reduce the chances of being a victim of some type of fraud in this area. And a couple items of literature that I've reviewed. Um, you want to make sure that you verify your non-for-profit organization. And one of the resources that I've received is from one of my sources. Let me see if I can share my screen. Safari. So as you can see from this article, it talks about the response that the citizens make when they are become victims, or they found out that a non-for-profit is not a legitimate organization. And ultimately, the donors punish the non-for-profit by reducing the monetary and non-monetary support that is provided to the non-for-profit organization in reaction to the reports of fraud. And the article states that there is an indirect relationship when these behaviors are reported. So in essence, when a non-for-profit is in the news and someone has committed fraud, there will be less donations that will be received by the public as a result of the reporting. In addition, there is a greater decrease in support when fraud is reported in the news. So the the louder the message is spoken, the most likely these non-for-profits will receive any type of support. So that would definitely not just impact the individual non-for-profit, but it would also impact other non-for-profits that's in the same space, that's probably looking for the same type of support from the community for the particular type of tragedy. So that is one of the literature review that I wanted to present. And then the other item that I wanted to share is on, let me go back and share this item here. Where, let me give credit to the authors. So examining the efficiency of accountability systems and preventing misconduct. So in this article, the research was conducted and they had a sample of 215 not-for-profit organizations. And in the article, they basically list out the types of misconduct that is in the non-for-profit. They either have it as individual, as if the individual person within the organization commits the fraud, which could be the staff or the client or the organization itself. And the fraud is either done internally which is with the staff or by another individual outside of the organization, which will be particularly a client, and they have it broken down into another subcategory, which will be financial and non-financial. And from what they found, they created this table that did after their analysis, and they found that when individuals committed um, of financial fraud on an internal level, it's either embezzlement that occurs, property theft, inaccurate accounting, and conflicts of interest. And on the internal, they have external, sorry, you have those scams, which is what we're trying to prevent with this video from, people getting defrauded, people raising money fraudulently, you got fraudulent bills, you got bribery, and this is a sample of 215. So this number is it's it's pretty significant with the sample size. And then with the non-financial fraud incidences, which isn't fraud, but because of the fraud, they usually have inaccurate policies and procedures in the organization that impacts the organization, staff, and clients. And usually you will find these behaviors inside of organization or nonprofit organization that is running fraudulently on the individual level. You have a lot of sexual harassments, assaults, failure to follow procedure, cruelty to animals, conflict of interest, and exploitation of clients are some of the items of non-financial um, internal and external incidents where the individuals inside of a non-for-profit. And then on the organizational side, the financial, same thing, you will find misuse of funds where they're misappropriating assets. And because of those huge items that they're involved in, it usually results in bankruptcies, huge debt that is accumulated, major conflicts of interest, improper deductions for paychecks that leads back to improper accounting and lawsuits. And on the external side, fraudulent fundraising, same thing as an individual. These organizations fail to file their 990s, which is an IRS tax form that needs to be reported to the IRS to keep their tax exempt status, fraudulent services, inaccurate accounting, conflicts of interest, charity scams, lawsuits, and bribery. And the non-financial, again, these are basically impacts of failure to follow policies and procedures. And you have these types of incidences that occur. And I just wanted to share those items and also to give you a good context of what happens when an organization or a nonprofit organization is experiencing fraud in their organizations. So what is the whole point of this message? So I wanted to create this video, wanted to show individuals how to verify and identify non-for-profits that are legitimate. So these are my steps to verify a non-for-profit. And the first thing that I would do The first thing that I would do, let me share my screen again. Where are you? So first thing that I would do is go straight to the IRS website, irs.gov. As you can see, it will bring you to this home page. May change in the future, but you will go up here and click on the link for charities and nonprofits. And on this page, it lists all the resources that are available for non-for-profits, um, information that you may need, the different types of non-for-profits, and how to register and apply for these non-for-profits, and how to reinstate after you lose your tax exempt status. Provides your forms and how to get your EIN. So go to the IRS website and then you would click this link and you will search for your non-for-profit organization. And then you will come to this screen here where you can search the tax exempt organization. And you can search them either by the EIN if you have that, or the organizational name. Most people don't have the EIN because it's not regularly published, but if you've been doing business with that non-for-profit, you should have an EIN. So I will search by the name of the non-for-profit, and you have different features where you can search. So I would just leave it on all. And here I would enter the name of the non-for-profit, to the Scott Foundation. Let's reset this. What's going on? Maybe I need to refresh it. Let's refresh it. Refresh it, put the organization name. There we go. And I'll put one of my non-for-profit organization, to the Sky Foundation. And you click the search button. Oh, must have spelled something wrong. To the Sky. Let me put that. Give it some time to load up. And boom. Down here, you will get your search results. You will get the EIN of the non-for-profit, where the non-for-profit is located, the state. But sometimes you have multiple non-for-profits with the same name, may be registered in a different state, or you may have a non-for-profit with a lot of subsidiaries that have different EINs. But make sure you find the one that you're looking for based on the EIN, which will be more specific, or either by the city or the state to make it more specifics for your search. Then from there, you will get the information about, is the organization published? And yes, you will get that. You get the code for the non-for-profit. So my non-for-profit is a public foundation. Some may have a PC, which is a public charity, which allows contributions of 60% if it's cash, or 50% for other property. Private operating foundation. These are the different types of non-for-profit organizations that you may have, and it has their different codes that would apply um, for those if you need any assistance with those types of organization. My firm is available to assist you with those. Here you will have your determination letter, which allows you to see what type of non-for-profit it is, the code, and when they became a non-for-profit, and the exemption status of the non-for-profit. And then here you will have the different non-for-profits that tax forms that was filed. And within these forms, you would want to open it up and look and see the type of form that was filed, and to take it a step further, see what type of information that goes on in that particular non-for-profit. So this is one way to get assurance that your non-for-profit that you're working with, that you willing to contribute your time and resources to, is in fact a legitimate non-for-profit, and also that you're not being scammed. And also you can contact your state um, departments of revenues or tax department in your state to find out if the non-for-profit is legitimate. We have the Department of Consumer Services, Department of Agriculture, Department of Financial Services that would assist us here in Florida to determine that these non-for-profits are legitimate, and would assist you with if you have been a victim of a scam. So I didn't want to make this too long, but yeah, so ultimately when a non-for-profit is involved in some type of fraud, it reduces the amount of support that they receive from the public. And the bigger the news outlet or the information outlet or media, the greater the impact of those support for that non-for-profit. And the impact could be either financial or non-financial, internal or external. And either the organization is impacted or an individual is impacted within the non-for-profit. The main thing that you will notice is there's a lot of lawsuits. A lot of them don't stand the test of time due to bankruptcies and inaccurate financial reportings. And then you have lawsuits such as sexual harassment and criminal cases for fraud and sexual assault. And the thing that you want to do to protect yourself is to, one, verify the non-for-profit by going to the IRS website, looking at their list of tax exempt organizations, review their determination letter that lets you know their tax exempt status and the type of non-for-profit they are. Either they're a public charity, private operating foundation, or private public foundation. And the final step is reviewing their tax filing for the year to see what type of activity or transactions they had during the year. And this is a way to protect yourself and also be able to help out in the community whenever a major tragedy happens in the future. Again, and I just wanted to end that on this good note that life is good and living is better. And I'm the dreaded CPA, Dr. Serge W.D. Haiti. Have a great day.